So about a year ago, I did a video on the Gaming Rebellion channel outlining the 30 Super Nintendo games I thought would be on an SNES Classic. While Nintendo went ahead and did like 21 games, we were actually still pretty accurate. Of course, we couldn't anticipate Star Fox 2 being on the dang thing, but otherwise we did pretty good. Now, I kind of wanted to do the same thing for the Nintendo 64. I had to really work with some other people on this one because I'm not a huge Nintendo 64 fan, so I don't know a whole lot about that system. I mean, I've played most of these games that are on this list, with the exception of maybe just a handful. But we're going to go ahead and do 20 N64 games that would be on an N64 Classic Edition. And before we begin, I do want to say GoldenEye and Perfect Dark will not be on this list, nor will Banjo and Kazooie, or Banjo-Kazooie. And the reason being is with GoldenEye, Rare no longer owns that license, so you can't really use licensed games on classic editions like this without having to go out and pay a bunch of money to MGM, in this case, to get a license to put a James Bond game back on the console. As for Perfect Dark and Banjo-Kazooie, Microsoft is still kind of using those licenses, so it'd be kind of hard to pull those games away and put them on a Nintendo product. But where the Donkey Kong type games are concerned, and Diddy Kong, we're pretty positive that, you know, seeing some of these virtual console releases recently, those should make it on there. So let's take a look at 20 Nintendo 64 games that would be on the Nintendo 64 Classic Edition. Now, before we leave it at that, I wanted to take a look at 4 other games that Nintendo could possibly throw in there as kind of a surprise. So let's take a look at these last 4 games, and I don't know, maybe one of these would show up on a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition. So these are the wild cards, I guess. Okay guys, that's all I got. I appreciate you watching. Later.